Okay, here we are. Here's the latest news. Yeah, the old Pontiac Grand Prix is that engine is done in it. She's knocking rods and everything else. The story behind it was that I was driving it. I drove it down to the Quickie Mart one day, and on the way back, I noticed it was blowing smoke. And by the time I got to the house, it was ticking and everything else. So I shut it off, and the next day I went and got more oil and bought a oil sending unit for it, as well as I bought a regular old-fashioned oil pressure gauge. And I checked the pressure in the engine, put new oil in it, checked the pressure with the new oil in it. Pressure was good, so then I just went ahead and replaced the oil sending unit. And the new sending unit is good. It's not leaking oil or anything, but yeah, I've already hurt the engine. It's got a rod knocking. I'm not even going to start it up so that you can hear that rod knocking, you know. I'm going to try to save that engine, but what I'm going to have to do is tear it down and rebuild it. So this thing's going back up on the jack stands, and the problem with that is all the other vehicles that I had I've sold off. So this was my only means of transportation. I don't like being in that situation, but I thought I could get away with it, and of course I couldn't. So this is what I had to do. I went and bought this. This is a 1993 C4 Corvette. It's got a beautiful green color to it. It's a nice car, but it is just another old Chevy is what it is. And it's going to need some things. I'm not liking the way the brakes are looking on it, but, you know, I can fix all of that. And, of course, you got your electrical issues. You got the power windows. The switch won't work for the passenger side. Well, let me say that correctly. On the driver's side, you have a switch for both windows. The switch that controls the passenger side, that won't work, but yet the switch on the passenger side in the door does work. And but other than that, you know, that's all I can find for now. I can let's go ahead and pop the hood. What it has in it is an engine that I'm not crazy about, and that's the old LT1 350 engines. They've got some issues too. One of those issues is it's the electronic distributor for providing spark to your spark plugs. On the LT1s, they put it, driving it right off the crankshaft down low underneath the water pump, which is down here. Let's see if we can find it. There's your water pump, and the distributor is down underneath there. And then they route the wires over here. You can't even get to the wires. Just trying to route the wires in this thing is a real pain in the butt. But yeah, it's the LT1 350 engine, 300 horse. And that's one of the things I don't like about it, and that's one of the things I have the feeling I'm going to have to do. And in order to do it, you got to get all these lines and everything out of your way. You might even have to pull the radiator out of the thing to do it. But yeah, the reason why I have this car is rather serendipitous. When I took the Grand Prix down to the Quickie Mart for the second time after I had the oil in it, new sending unit, I was driving down the road, and this car was sitting out by the road with a for sale sign on it, and I just drove on past it. And I thought to myself, I'm not interested in a Corvette. But when I got to the Quickie Mart and was listening to how that engine was running with rods knocking, I was like, oh crap. So I just crippled it back to the house, and on the way back I decided I would stop and look to see what this guy's want for this car. And it was in my price range, and I knew that the Pontiac was going to have to get put back up on jack stands and an engine pulled and rebuilt, and so it's going to be there for months. I needed another set of wheels to get me around, This was in my price range, so I bought it. But once again, here's my feeling about it. Some of these cars have a bit of prestige. The C4 is not my favorite of all the Corvettes. In fact, it's my least favorite. And it is, after all, just an old Chevy with old Chevy problems. So, but it's good A-B transportation. It'll get me to and from. I just can't haul a whole lot of lumber in it, though. You know, so that's an issue. But yeah, that's the latest update. I hope this answers a few questions. You know, so well, there you have it.